Hello everyone, welcome back to the Living Again series. Today we are going to talk about a problem. Now we are getting deep into the series. But you forgive me, my voice is a bit not clear because I have flu, so you'll forgive me for today because I still had to upload the video anyway. So today we're looking at the problem, because remember in the introduction series I never told you the problem. I was only talking about the symptoms of not feeling loved, or feeling out of place, feeling like you don't belong, things like that. So when I started, I was like, but what can I give? Like, what name can I give this whole thing? And based on Google, they were talking about borderline personality disorder, and it was having all the things within. So I decided to use that term. Although borderline personality disorder can be mistaken to be, no, it can actually be missed and instead be termed as maybe a depression disorder, anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder. But that one thing that differentiates borderline personality disorder, BPD, from these others is that for it requires psychotherapy, like where someone goes through counseling to rediscover themselves and things like that. So BPD, according to National Institute of Mental Health, USA, they were telling us that it is a mental illness that severely impacts one's ability to regulate their emotions. When I went to look through the symptoms and here and there, and also the research I had done some time back on myself, these are some of the things that people with this kind of condition have. But for you to start to term it as borderline personality disorder, you should be having more than 5, based on what they were saying. Like, you should be having more than 5 of these symptoms. I even feel it weird calling them symptoms, but anyway, since it's an illness, so those could be symptoms. And so how do we identify people with this kind of disorder? One of the things, they experience intense mood swings. Take note that in bipolar disorder, the mood swings take long, like they can last days. But for BPD or borderline personality disorder, they occur in short terms. Like, let me say, this minute I'm happy, then the next minute you'll find me when I'm not happy, when I'm depressed. This minute I'll be talking to you, the next minute I'll feel like I don't want to talk to you. This minute I'll feel like I like you very much, then the next minute I'll feel like, you don't matter. Secondly, these people have a poor or unstable self-image. Like, when they look at themselves, they feel like, no, you're also living. You get it? Like, they feel like their identity, like, it is too low. Like, even when these people find them that they are talented, they'll still feel like, those guys are still better than me. Yes, there are people outside there who are like, man, if I get that talent that girl has. Not like, for example, I used to have I used to sing in chapel in school, secondary, and everyone admired my voice, right? But to me, even the voice sometimes never mattered. I was like, I always worked towards perfection. I remember those times when I was singing with my cousin Victor, hi, like, I would tell him, please perfect the song, because to some extent I felt like my life depended on it. And no matter how much we presented and someone doesn't come and tell me that, you guys, you know what, today you did it, I would feel like still the bar was low. I would feel like I've not done enough. I would feel like you girl, now if you can't even sing, what are you going to do? Like, you're not worth even your talent. You get? Like, I always saw myself in this bad image. You get? But for me, the case was, I built my identity based on what people used to tell me. Whereby, people used to tell me, you girl, you're proud, you girl, you're selfish, you guys, you people, take note of the words you tell people. You might be the reason someone ends up losing their identity because of what you keep telling them. If you don't understand someone, leave them the way they were, unless you see that it is a behavior. Because I used to look at how people would call me mean, and I look for the mean part of me, and I fail to see it. And in the end, I would be like, they're looking at me as mean people. Now let me just become a bad person. I remember there was even a time I had to go and search on internet how to become a bad person. In fact, I'd go and inquire from people in school, and I'd be like, how does a bad person look like? Just because I had lost my identity and I was now seeing myself the way people perceived me, yet that wasn't who I really was. Thirdly, these people will act recklessly or impulsively, whereby they're not going to reason things. They're going to act based on emotions, and in fact they might even reason things out, but they'll take the decision based on their emotions. I remember there were times I would call people and they would tell me they are busy and so on. My mind would reason that, Kathy, these people are busy, they love you, but they are busy. But my emotions would tell me, no, this person is just avoiding me. They told me they would help me out. Now I'm calling them, they're pretending like as if they're busy. Before you know it, mood swings switching. The person you've seen smiling turns to quiet. Like just because I used my emotions to judge things. Emotions, fire. So there is fear of abandonment. These people will tend to fear being abandoned, or they will also fear rejection due to their flaws. And even to the people they have in their lives that they love, you would find that they would try to put in everything to make sure they keep the relationship. But unfortunately, at the same time, their relationships are very unstable. You'll find someone today, be it with a family, be it with the friends, be it, you'd find that today she or he's acting normal, friendly, and so on. The next minute, my dear, she's quarreling. You don't care about me. Am I even your friend? I know someone who can click on that. Joan, do you remember? But anyway, like, you try to put in everything where you feel like you've annoyed them. Someone can go quiet on you. Now let me say, now we are in a trend of technology. Someone goes quiet on you, you send them a message, they blue tick you. Catty, then you're like, instead of asking them, you guys, I sent you my message, you blue ticked me, what is wrong? And a normal person, that is how they would reason. Anyone who is confident about themselves and so on. But these people, they won't even tamper to come and ask you, why didn't you answer my text? The first thing that will come in their mind would be, now what did I do this time around? Does this person now no longer need me? Am I now that useless to them? Now have they ignored me? Now those thoughts, now they will keep piling and piling and piling. If you're not careful, you might even feel like your mind is eluding from you. So, and they'll keep apologizing. Have you ever seen people keep apologizing even for things they have not done? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even when it is your fault, they'll still take it that it is their fault. They'll find ways of making it feel like they will reason things until they find a common point that will tell them it is their fault. Sorry about those hens that are shouting for us, those cocks. But anyway, the other point is they always have suicidal thoughts or thoughts of self-harming, or they can even actually harm themselves. And this thing is recurring. Now, for my case, I remember in school, there were times I did what? Whenever I got to the peak of my emotions, the next thing, the moment you would see me cry, the next thing that would come to my mind is, why don't you take your life? Anyway, it's not important. No one cares. And unfortunately, I once tried. Yes, I tried taking my life, but it didn't work. I think God just didn't want me to die yet. But anyway, there are some things you do, but when you yourself, you also don't want to die. Because imagine if I really wanted to die, why of all medicines did I use Panadol? Hi, you people. But anyway, that is a point. If you hear people talking about, that's even if you're lucky to hear them talking about some such things, or if you see people harming themselves, that could also be a red flag. You'd quickly check out other points. Then also there is those unreal thoughts and feelings. Those now are categorized in that the symptoms I gave in the introduction of not feeling loved, of feeling like you don't belong, of feeling unimportant. All the things, they go in that caliber. And because I remember I faced issues of feeling like I'm not loved with my parents, friends, and now for my, naturally in your voice, in your mind, you'd reason that these people love you. You even have evidences that people love you. But now, because you're feeling like, or maybe they've done just one thing, you caught them off guard, you'd feel like they don't love me anymore. And this will keep building and building and building and building and building. Now, the other point is this feeling of emptiness, feeling of hopelessness, depression. Have you ever had people who are always pessimistic? There are people who are naturally pessimistic. All they have is negative assumptions. But now this one is not assumptions. All they will see is negative. You get? Let me say, we might ask them, how was your day? Let me say someone might have given them money. Someone might have made them smile. But if at the end of the day, maybe at 4 p.m., someone comes from wherever they have come from and they do something that hurts them, that is what they'll take from the full day. They won't consider the things that have been done in the day. They won't consider the generosity people have done for them. They'll take this last thing, they did this to me. And that will take you back, it's just a cycle. It will take you back to feeling like you're not loved. Now I'm less important. Now they don't need me. This life is just so tiring. Sometimes you just have to pity these people and feel for them. The other thing, they would prefer to sleep all day than to go out and socialize. I remember at campus, I had a friend who told me, Kathy, let's go out and have fun. Naturally, okay, if I didn't know about this, I would say I'm not a party person. But the first thing that will come to my mind, what if I go and I feel out of place? What if I go and I mess up things? So I'll be like, let me stay in my bed and sleep. So I would stay in my bed and sleep or watch movies, but when I've not gone out. And sometimes you would sleep just to cool off the thoughts. There's those moments when you just have a lot of thoughts running in your mind, not thoughts of business, not thoughts of losses, no. Emotions that keep reasoning with your mind. So when you want to rest your mind from all these, the best thing to do is sleep. I remember I once told my cousin, Victor, that you know what? I want to sleep without waking up. Of course that would mean this. But no, I would just want to sleep and not wake up the whole day. Like, spend the whole time sleeping. Because the reason I would give was, in my sleep, I won't get to think. No one will get to annoy me. But really, is that how we are supposed to live our lives? But yeah. So there is also this blame game. These kinds of people, they are always quick to take the blame. That's not even theirs. Someone does something and they're at fault, but because this person loves their friend and they don't want to lose them. Like I said, they fear abandonment. They'll start reasoning and say, I'm the one who was at fault, I'm the one who did this. They'll always center it about themselves, and they will either decide to cut off this people from their lives, leading to the unstable relationships, or they'll bury it down, and that means they're building a character of, I'm so imperfect, like no one can love me, I'm always causing trouble. The other thing, you guys, this one, they spend a lot in a short time. The example I can give, all over time I was in that condition. Of course, even sometimes, even now when I'm depressed, I do that. I used to go shopping. I didn't have a lot of money by the way, but as long as I had money, whatever is enough in that money, I would go and buy. But I always do that when I'm in that mode of depression, like when I feel like I'm down. Have you had someone tell you, I feel down? Then you ask them, why? Then you're like, I also don't know. I used to give Victor those answers that I feel down. And then he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, I just feel down. Now to a normal person, how do you start telling them such nonsense? So anyway, about the spending, I would go and buy ice cream whenever I felt down and I couldn't talk to anyone. There are those emotions that come and put you down, and you feel like you're down, and you're not sad, but you're just there. You're in negatives. I would go, count my money, go and buy ice cream. Not one thing. I would go buy a 500-gram ice cream. On top of a 500-gram, I buy that next size. Is it 250? I'm not sure. That one. On top of that, I would either add crisps, things like that. I wouldn't feel like I want to eat food, but eating junk and most of the times I always craved for ice cream in those days. So I'd come to hostel, eat my ice cream, not talking to anyone, until I feel like, okay, now we can resume. So anyway, guys, that was all for today. Those are some of the symptoms that I could share with you about those people. Maybe when I'll get those other people to talk to you, they'll tell you their kinds of symptoms and so on. But as for now, based on what you've known, guys, whenever I see someone in that kind of condition with such symptoms, take a keen eye. Take note of what you say to them, because those things have a big role in their lives that they play. Because now I wish people who used to call me proud, mean, selfish, know how much damage they did back then. Probably you wouldn't want to be that kind of person who's going to cause damage to someone's life, right? So even in public places where we are, there are people with these things, because according to the research on BPD, they were telling us BPD can be mistaken for these other disorders. That means, because for them they were saying it was 1.4% of people per year, but then they were like, they are more than that percentage, because when you don't recognize that it is BPD, you can put it as depression, you can put it as, but take note of your surroundings, look out for these people, and we shall see each other next time, as we shall be talking about what causes us to go into this borderline personality disorder. Yeah, but for now, that is all. I'm so glad I've uploaded this video once again, and I can't wait to hear from you and your views, your opinions, the other signs, I can't add on that. Bye-bye.